So we have China and Russia disguised attack threats posed by their satellites, U.S. says. And here's the deal. We've covered this in the past. You covered it on your channel in the past. And it's pretty important because there's an updated document from the U.S. that talks about it's kind of the future of warfare, really. And what it is China has these satellites that have the
dual
ability.
use.
Yeah, it's called the dual. I just want to pull up a quote here.
Okay, right.
It says the dual use nature of some spacecraft, such as Chinese satellites like Shijian 17 and 21, makes counter space tests or hostile activity difficult to detect, attribute, or mitigate. And this is the Space Force, by the way, of the U.S. It's pretty epic, Space Force.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
You're the space guy.
I know, it sounds a little lame, but I get it. You've got an Air Force, right?
Gotta have a Space Force. You
But hang on a second. You don't have a Sea Force.
have the Navy.
Yes, I know, but it's got a name, right?
I believe if it was called Sea Force, I would appreciate it more.
You think so?
Yeah,
Sea
it's
Force.
Pretty awesome.
Land Force instead of the Army. Would
that not be cool?
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of weird. Surely it should have its own name. I don't know what you'd call it, but you know.
The report said China and Russia are designing and testing counter space weapons to deny, disrupt, or destroy satellites and space services. So here's the deal. China's denying all this stuff.
Of course.
And the funny thing is that there's been some CG footage released in the past here that we can see what they do. So basically what happens is they have these claws and some sort of net, and there's other devices.
It's grappling. They've got grappling capabilities.
Hooks,
I released this on my video ages ago, but they actually tracked one of these satellites.
Yeah.
Grabbed a non-functioning Chinese satellite.
It was a Russian satellite, yeah,
Was it? Did they grab a Russian satellite?
Oh no,
they grabbed another Chinese.
Another one.
They grabbed a Chinese satellite and then actually like disposed of it, like threw it into threw it out so it would get destroyed.
Yeah, another one of the weapons, anti-satellite weapons that they tested, ejected an object near a Russian satellite. That was a different weapon.
Yeah.
So there is multiple different weapons.
Yeah, it's interesting. They've got all these kind of hostile satellites,
It's
so to
in
speak.
there, actually.
Yeah.
See, there's the net.
Yeah, so
we have high-power microwaves, so you strap a Kenmore on there, turn it up to like 5,000.
you can fry electronics and all sorts of things on another satellite, right?
Radio frequency jammers,
lasers, chemical sprayers.
What are you doing, like spraying vinegar?
Oh, think about it. If you get like
hydrochloric
some kind
acid?
of caustic acid or something, it'll just melt. You know, look, satellites are made out of very flimsy things.
Yeah,
because
they have to be light and stuff.
It's got to be light. But think about it, like your solar sails and things like that.
Yeah,
you know, they have to unfold, and they're very, very fragile.
Yeah.
It just takes a little something to
damage
damage them, right?
Yeah.
Kinetic kill vehicles, in other words, like a kamikaze satellite that just rams another one.
Yeah.
And then robotic mechanisms like grappling arms and things like that. You know, they've got all these technologies, and it's always dual use. They'll be like, "Oh, it's for science."
Yeah. So the response is that this is Wang Wenbin. Every time I hear him talk, it sounds.
It's like a
Wang Wenbin. He says in English, it says, China is committed to using outer space in a peaceful manner while they develop literal radio frequency jammers, lasers, chemical sprayers, and kinetic kill vehicles to literally remove and throw satellites.
Well, the fact is, it's not conjecture. Like I said, that footage I showed earlier is something that I did in a video like a year ago or so. But it's actually been tracked. They have actually taken satellites out of orbit, grabbed them and thrown them away and destroyed them.
It's pretty like video game.
I mean, they did destroy their own satellites, to be fair, like a failing weather satellite.
It's a test, right?
But the fact that they can use their satellites to destroy other satellites means in a warfare situation, it's very dangerous. Because, you know, like, for instance, the U.S. Army relies on GPS for navigation.
I was about to say, that's in there.
So, I mean, imagine you just go and destroy some GPS satellites. Suddenly the military won't know where to go. It'll be like, turn left in 300 meters to the battlefield. Yeah. But instead it'll be like, sorry, no connection.
Yeah, except it would say yards.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
The U.S. has been hyping up the China threat in outer space and smearing China. And I kid you not, he said smear. That's our favorite word that the Chinese government uses.
Pay more, smear.
He said on a regular press briefing. So this is just an update, and it's more comprehensive this time. I know you covered it before. Now the document's fully comprehensive, so you can read into
it's linked in the
description. It's linked in the description. Cool. Definitely check that out. Remember we brought up the Houthis thing?
Yeah.
In Yemen? Basically, there's a situation where this group, which apparently is going to be designated as a terrorist group by the U.S., but anyway, this group has been stopping shipping container ships.
Yep.
In a very important shipping area of the world where everything has to go through the Suez Canal.
Port of Dandong.
So you're saying it's not shipping hub, Northeast China,
the Red Sea. So no, it's not Port of Dandong. Okay. Anyway, long story short, they've been allowing Chinese ships to go through there, and people are like, wait a minute, what the hell? So they're like basically stopping everyone except China. What's going on here? Turns out Iran is behind a lot of these Houthis, right? Sure. And it's this huge international situation. It's really, really bad. But so what's happening now is people, including U.S. officials, are asking China for help to be like, can you tell them to stop doing this?
Right.
Because that kind of is clever. Because if they're the one orchestrating all of this stuff, and then all the international pressure is like, can you tell them to stop? And they don't.
Yes.
It kind of makes things a little easier to figure out what's going on, right?
Take the pills, Jeff.
Great.
Who says that?
My true love eats chicken feet.
My true love eats fish heads.
And though she puts things in her mouth that I would never touch.
Yeah.
Like what? Just you guys, huh? Can ya? You'd say mom.
He looks like he eats crayons.
Neo did for
Can't do it.
Neo 10-4 can't do it. This is
He says it. He said it can't do it.
This is definitely what you want, I assure.
This is definitely what you want, I assure.
You gotta understand, China.
Wow, that's a little too much for me.
Close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind works backwards,